अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं हूं मुख्तार अहमद, वर्चुअल यूनिवर्सिटी के कोर्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बिहेवियर के साथ, जिसका कोर्स कोड है MGT502। और आज मैं अपने 32वें लेक्चर नंबर 32 के साथ आपके साथ हाजिर हुआ हूं। और आज हम उसी चीज़ को कंटिन्यू करेंगे जिसको लास्ट 2 लेक्चर से हम देख रहे हैं, द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, उसका स्ट्रक्चर, उसका डिज़ाइन, and what kind of changes are taking place now, especially with reference to technology, and how to adjust yourself as an organization, as a team, as a group with this changing environment. Let's quickly summarize our previous lecture. And we started with the elements of the organization structure, and those basic 4 elements were span of control, centralization, formalizations, and departmentalizations. And you know why we want to do these things, isn't it like that? पता है ना आपको क्यों हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर मुख्तलिफ डिपार्टमेंट बनाते हैं? Why do we want to go for different structures? What are the things, what are the factors which are affecting our decision about the kind of structure, the kind of design we want to adopt? है ना मालूम? We should not go there again because we have already spent 2 lectures, rather previous 2 lectures. तो उसमें हमने फिर last lecture को दौरान we also discussed common organization designs, the simple structure, the bureaucratic or bureaucracy, and the matrix structure. You remember that during previous lecture I shared with you different type of organization structures, and those were functional based organization structure, product based, territory based, and matrix based, और उसके अलावा horizontal structures. Now, if you understand the basic concept of why we want to go for the structuring, then it depends what kind of specific requirement your organization can have, and you can then opt the particular type of organization structure. But keeping in view the changing environment, the future or the feature of the job design or job organization structure in future will be more openness, more freedom to work, rather more freedom to make the decisions, and the bottom line will be the flexibility. Whatever job we want to design, whatever type of organization structure we want to follow, we have to keep in our mind that now it is the flexibility, it is the empowerment of the worker, of the people, of the unit, of the department, which is going to have a different kind of effect, the positive effect. But when we are talking about the empowerment, when we are talking about the flexibility, and we're not asking that nobody is going to check you, and nobody is saying this thing, because for each action, the person, he or she should be responsible. Whatever decision they are taking, positive or negative, there should be strong accountability to the same time. And then this flexibility and openness can work. Otherwise, we'll be opening we'll be giving them more chances, we'll be opening new doors for corruption, for misuse of resources, for embezzlement, and other such things, which are going to have the negative effect or bad effect on the organization, on individuals, on group. We have to give the freedom, we have to provide the flexibility, we have to inbuild kind of openness so that people should deliver. They should be creative, they should be responsible, and they should have high morale when they are working. And they should go toward organization citizenship. And what was that organization citizenship concept? When each worker, or the person working there, or the group working there, or the team working there, they should not only do the routine work, rather by owning it, but having this feeling that whatever we are doing, it is important. And it has been recognized by organization level, at the top level, then people will start delivering more than that. They are going to own it, and when you are owning it, then you will come up with better solution. Then you will be doing beyond your normal expectation from the organization. And that is the concept of organization citizenship. Similarly, the evolving forms of organization design for the future are of today, which again based on this freedom, the flexibility, more empowerment. We are asking more toward self-managing teams. We are going toward team-based design or team-based approaches. And of course, the virtual organizations, networks. Doesn't matter that you are working under one roof or you are working in different locations. But still you can work like a team. Still you can work like one organization. And let's see how things are changing. How things are changing the way people used to work together. The face-to-face interaction is now becoming less important. The virtual concept is prevailing. It is basically the convenience that even you can hire the services of a person sitting in 1,000 miles away. Still he can sit there, work on his laptop, use the technology part as a tool, and deliver you at your place whatever you want to get out of it. Today's topics, I'll continue with the previous one. 4 symptoms of structure weaknesses. 4 things. When you see there is delay in decision making, it means something is wrong. The structure is not working properly. The overloaded hierarchy, due to overloaded hierarchy, information funneling limited to few channels. It is even, I'm not saying intentionally people are delaying the decision making, but it can be the procedural things. It can be the structure you have decided for your organization that is going to delay your decision making. So if decision making is delayed, that is a negative aspect. Because especially in this era, speed is the important thing. The first time hitter people, they are going to be successful. Whoever will reach first, whoever will decide first, whoever will hit the ball first, they will take control of the situation. So for that purpose, if organization observe that there is delay in decision making, something is wrong. And if it has to do with the organization structure or design, you might have to come up with some alternatives. So that is one symptom. Poor quality decision making is another one. Right information not reaching right people in the right format at the right time. Again, the system you have decided. The flow of information. The line staff relationship. वो जो span of control है. Due to these things, if you're not getting right information, of course, you're not going to have the complete information. And when you don't have the complete information, or maximum information, so logically, decision is not going to be right. So that poor quality decision is also one indicator, one symptom of your structure or organization design weakness. Another example, lack of innovative response to changing environment. We have discussed so many times, things are changing. And changing with a very fast speed. So if we are not responsive, and if we are not responding to a changing environment, what is going to happen? Will be history. If you are not responding with the changing environment, you'll become history. You'll be losing the edge. That is why people say, change as the environment change. So, when you are seeing that, with the changing environment, your organization, your people, your group, your teams, your individuals are not coming up with innovative ideas, something is wrong. And if we just take the example of organization structure, So it means there is no coordination among them. And there is no coordinating effort from their side. So again, this is also indicating the weakness of your structure, the weakness of your design of the organization. Last but not the least, the high level of conflict. So if you find that people are having more conflicts now, so if they are going to have more conflicts, what is going to happen? Now their priority will be changed. What priority is going to be there? Because departments work against each other, not for organization goals. So if you observe that there are more conflicts among groups, within group, or among people, something is wrong again. Because now what is going to happen? They are going to work on their own individuals' priorities, their goals, forgetting the main goal of the organization. And that is also indicating that your system is not working. Your information flow and your coordinating efforts, whatever structure you have formed, or whatever structure you have adopted, or organization design you have adopted, it is not working. Because, and remember, this is not the only reason. There might be other reasons for the conflict. But let's keep other things constant and just try to understand the effect of the organizational structure weakness or organizational design problems. Again, that is going to instigate or enhance the chances of conflict in your organization. And when there are more conflicts, and especially when they cross the limit, it is going to be very dangerous for your organization. It is going to be dangerous for the people, for the group, and ultimately everybody will be having the lose-lose condition. So these are few symptoms which can also guide us, guide you, guide me, that we should be alert, we should be very careful that something is wrong in somewhere in the organization, and especially if we are discussing the organizational structure, so that might be the cause, that might be the reason that people are having this issue. They are not coming up with quick decisions, they are not coming up with quality decisions, they are not responding to the changing environment, and there is a conflict. So obviously, something is wrong. And if we keep other things constant, so that something might be with the organization, it has to do something with the organization structure or organization design. So what should be the option? Quickly, now we have to respond. If we are not responding, so as a whole organization has the problem. Now based on these things, the important thing will be the organization strategies. So much in this time I have discussed the mission, the goal, and these type of things. I thought I should share these things in a systematic manner with you. Each organization has some missions, what they are and what they want to be, their objective, their reason of survival, their ultimate reason. That is the mission. And based on that mission, they can have specific goals. And those goals can be achieved through different strategies and different tactics. In the organization, in this, when we're deciding about the strategies, when we're deciding about the structure of the organization or the design of the organization, we have to keep in our mind the strategies. Because those strategies, the mission, based on those mission, you will give the task or fix the target or give the main, they have to achieve the goal of different subunits. The departmentalization जो आपने की थी, जो मुख्तलिफ section बनाए थे, and you will fix different specific goals to them, and you will give them the goals so they should achieve it. Now all those goals should be translating into and directing toward the ultimate mission, the objective or reason of survival of the organization. And if there are conflicts, if there are late decision making, if there are poor decision making, if there is no innovation, so not only they are losing the edge, rather they'll be having negative effect on the organizations. Let's talk about environment now. What is the environment? Environment is a very important thing. The surrounding, the forces which are affecting anybody, any group, any organizations. Because as we said, when we define the organization, they are the social entities, they have the common goals, deliberately structured and linked with the environment. So they are not working in isolation. कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आइसोलेशन में काम नहीं कर रही होती, कुछ ना कुछ उसको फैक्टर्स फोर्सेस उस पर इफेक्ट कर रहे होते हैं, इंटरनली भी हो सकते हैं, एक्सटर्नली भी हो सकते हैं. So environment is also playing very vital role, very important role in strategy formulation, in deciding different activities, having the contingency plans, deciding even about the organization structure or design. Those environmental forces, they play the very vital role. And I'm not going to discuss in detail all those environmental factors because so many courses, during so many times you might have discussed those things, the environment, role of environment. Let's talk about direct impact of environment, why it is important. Number one, uncertainty. When environments, of course especially the external factors, the macro forces, they're not under control of any organizations. Organization might affect in a way to some extent, but in reality, totally the macro forces, one organization cannot control all of them. So the uncertainty is very important. Uncertainty of the environment, the crucial thing, exists when managers have little information about environmental events and their impact on the organization. That uncertainty is even having more effect, manifold effect. When the organization environment is complex and dynamic, the manager may have little information about future events and have great difficulty predicting the future. What is the role of predicting? Because whatever you plan based on whatever you have today and where you want to reach. इसी पे होता है ना, प्लान किस पे करते हो? You do your analysis, situation analysis को कहते हैं, SWOT analysis भी करते हैं. तो अगर ऐसी environment है जिसका तो एक तो आपको पता ही नहीं है एज ए मैनेजर, दूसरा अगर उसको प्रिडिक्ट करना आपके लिए मुश्किल होता जा रहा है, so that means this environment factor is becoming even more uncertain for you. There is more uncertainty there and you are at the risk factor, risk level again. And if you don't have proper contingent plan, if you don't have a proper system established in your organization, that is going to have a dangerous effect. So environment factors की जब आप बात करते हैं तो पहली इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है environmental uncertainty. उसके अलावा environment के रिलेटेड क्या चीज है? Complexity. If the environment is complex, so many different factors affecting it, your environment, your main organization's environment. The number of environmental components that affect an organization decision making, if there are more, again, that is making the situation more complex. And similarly, environment dynamics or dynamism, changing with time, no static situation. The degree to which these components change will show you the dynamism of that environment. Interest rate change हो रहा है, political situation change हो रही है, technology speed से change हो रही है. So that is the dynamism. So when we are talking about the environment of organization, so let's focus on the macro factors, the macro forces. We can divide them into 4 groups: technology, political and legal, economic, and socio-cultural. And these forces, they can affect organization in a big way. Now, if you don't have the system established where you can come up with some innovation, some contingency plan with the changing environment, what is going to happen? You will become history. You mean your organization. You might lose the edge, the competitive advantage which you were having earlier. If you're not responding those environmental changes quickly, you might be losing the edge. Take any example. Technology for that purpose. We are going to discuss now during this lecture the role of internet, the e-business concept, the e-commerce concept. Now see, this is the buzzword of today. Most of the organizations, they are shifting toward electronic commerce. Instead of doing the manual things, they're using this technology for their benefit. So if you were not on the same technology and you think that why should go there, what is going to happen? In a couple of years, maybe less than that, you might not be known as any organization in the world, in the business. Because people who have taken the initiative, they have invested in this new thing. They might be crossing everything, and they might be the leader of the market. Let's see, if you are using some technology in your organization, and things are changing in very fast speed, and I'm not saying to you should change every day, but still, organization should be responsive. They have to calculate, and the cost of changing the technology is very huge. Huge tech cost is there. You have to calculate how much you require, how far you can go, what is cost-benefit ratio, and based on that, then you will respond. Similarly, political and legal situation. If laws are changing, if political situation is changing, if it is uncertain, then again, these environmental forces, they are affecting organization in a big way. Similarly, economic condition, the interest rate, the inflation rate. So that is what is the trade theory is, right? Do you want to make it or you want to buy it? If you think you can get with the half price from outside, what is the big fun of going and producing those things? And who is going to buy from you, by the way, if your production cost is going to be very high? Because same thing you can get in the market with the half price. So these are the few very strategical decisions, important strategical decisions any organization has to take. If the socio-cultural things are changing, if demographic things are changing, the population behavior is changing, again, they are affecting the organization strategies. How it has to relate with the organization structure? Few examples. If the environment is dynamic, there is high rate of change, of course, then you should go for the organic structure. Well, you will have a little bit freedom, quickly adjust yourself. Because if under dynamic condition, you are going to have the bureaucratic style or mechanistic kind of organization structure. So with the changing environment, it will be very difficult to adjust your policy or rule regulations. If you have the stable things, of course, go for the mechanistic structure. But it is not binding, you cannot blend the organic structure there. If they have the complex environment, again, go for decentralization. And if you have the simple, you may be, because it is routine work, so you might not be needing that much decentralization. And so on. Like if you have diverse, you have integrated, you have hostile, if you have manifest. So accordingly, you have to adjust your organization structure too. See how those environmental things, the changing in the environment of the organization, environment of the surroundings, they can force the organization that they should readjust their organization design or structures. तो इन चीजों से बात समझ आ रही है ना? अब वो चीजें जो हमने शुरू की आइसोलेशन में समझाने के लिए छोटी छोटी डेफिनेशन से शुरू किया. Now you can see their applications, how they are affecting you as an organization. And if you have to manage such environment, under such environment, if you have an organization of even with few people, so see how these things are interlinked. That is why we say that organizations are social entities. They have common goals. they are deliberately structured and they are working within dynamic environment. तो उस environment के forces भी जो आपके control में कुछ होते हैं कुछ नहीं होते, वो जो micro forces factors हैं या internal environmental factor हैं, to some extent they are controllable to the organizations. But like we have right now discussed the major macro factors, the external force factors, they are not controllable because there are so many different factor forces they are affecting on them. So better thing will be, rather than fixing them, fix yourself. Rather adjusting those environmental forces, adjust yourself to be again in the mainstream, to be a successful organization, to be a successful person, to be a successful team or group. And let's go in a little bit more depth and see the role of technologies. The electronic revolution, the web-based and other technologies have allowed companies to take a new look at their structure. As I said, this web-based technology, the internet का जो तूफान आया, इसने हम सबको मजबूर कर दिया कि we should rethink. We should go for the business process re-engineering. अपने processes को re-engineering करें हम. आगे हम जाके देखेंगे ये re-engineering क्या है. They are forcing us, and we don't have any other choice, to readjust our and take a new look to our structures, organization structure, organization design, and make these adjustments based on which we are going to survive in the change environment. Not only changing environment, but of course it is already changed. The trend is to use more organic form that supports flexibility. देखें फिर वहीं पे आगे कि what is the future of organization structure, किस तरह का डिजाइन चाहते हैं, and the flexibility is the key. This web-based technology ने, ये electronics business ने, the way people used to do the business now is changing. और decision making किसी और के हाथ में जाने लगे. Importance of people are now shifting. Now people who are managing the database, they might be becoming more important rather than those cleric, those staff people who were just holding the files. See, the role is almost similar, but the way they used to do things are changed now. And that is why now trend is to use more organic structure, the open, the less, वो जो complexity है सो less कम से कम करना, and moving toward more flexible system. Again, flexibility doesn't mean that you should not watch your steps. You should not watch other people what they are doing. Have very tight control in a way that nobody should think of having misusing those flexibility things. But same time, we have to have confidence in each other. So you have to adjust according to the situation. There is no hard and fast rule. Okay, follow this and you will be successful. Yes, the basic principles are, you should be encouraging, you should be participating, give them freedom, give them confidence, keep their morale high, give them the feeling that they are important, your worker, your team members. And then naturally, logically, you will be getting better results. And when we are talking about technology, the earlier focus was work on the processes, the production processes. And now the late focus is, it is a knowledge technology. The knowledge economy concept, आजकल बड़ा buzzword है, कि किसके पास ज़्यादा information है, किसके पास ज़्यादा knowledge है. That will give you an edge. And based on this, the tasks are changing, and having more problem analyzing capabilities can give you an edge in this competitive environment. Let's talk about work design and technology now. Let's mix those things now. We have already discussed the technology part. Earlier we have spent 2.5 lectures for the organization design and organization structure. Let's try to mix them and see what is happening. Technology in the workplace. Things are changing. Continuous improvement in processes is required. A thing which is good today, it might not be good tomorrow. Good isn't good enough. आज का good, आज की excellence process, कल obsolete भी होगा. हो सकता है, हो रहा है, और होता है. So, we should be very much alert. Earlier, couple of decades back, if we study the history, technologies change हुई सदियों में. कई डिकेड लगे टेक्नोलॉजीज को चेंज होने में. लेकिन जिस स्पीड से इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज हो रही है, इसकी कोई एग्जांपल हमें हिस्ट्री में नहीं मिलती. और ये नई जो कंप्यूटर बेस्ड टेक्नोलॉजीज आ रही हैं, जिस स्पीड से ये चेंज हो रही है, पहले कभी ऐसे नहीं हुआ. इसलिए नाउ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैज टू बी आल्सो वेरी मच अलर्ट टू कोप अप विद दोस चेंजेस. फोकस इज ऑन constantly reducing the variability in the organization processes to produce more uniform products and services. How? With lower cost, by raising the quality. What is the bottom line basically? लोग क्या चाहते हैं आपसे? Whatever you are doing, your organization is producing services, your organization is producing the products. What the people want? People are interested with the quality product or service, at compatible price. वो किस तरह आप इसको कैसे कहेंगे कि प्राइस भी कम होती जाए और क्वालिटी भी अच्छी होती जाए? Yes, it can happen if you are having the efficient processes. वो जो कन्वर्जन प्रोसेस याद होगा, हमने जब एक सिस्टम अप्रोच के साथ देखा था कि इनपुट, you have the output, and you have the conversion process. The more the efficient the process is, with the minimum input, you can have the maximum output. और वो जो एफिशिएंसी आती है, वो इफेक्टिवनेस आती है, उस कन्वर्जन प्रोसेस से आती है. लेकिन वही टेक्नोलॉजी जब चेंज हो रही है, तो प्रोसेस भी चेंज हो रहे हैं. इट कैन बी फाइनेंशियल प्रोसेसेस, इट कैन बी ह्यूमन रिसोर्स ट्रेनिंग पार्ट, अदर प्रोसेसेस, इट कैन बी इक्विपमेंट. टेक्नोलॉजी यू कैन यूज एनीवेयर टू increase the efficiency of your processes, because the quality is the main issue with compatible price. Even if you are having very good quality, but the price is beyond the reach of the people, nobody is going to buy it from you. If we are talking about any kind of product, any kind of services. So what we are discussing here is to how to use these technologies to reduce the cost, increase the quality. And that will give you an edge in the market, to survive in the market. वो टेक्नोलॉजी भले आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर की अंदर यूज करें, कम्युनिकेशन के लिए यूज करें, इक्विपमेंट जो मशीनरी लाई है उसको प्रोसेसेस में यूज करें, इंफॉर्मेशन गैदर करने के लिए इस्तेमाल करें, डिसीजन मेकिंग करने के लिए करें, wherever, because it is going to have the one way or other way effect on the main ultimate the product outputs of the organization. और इसीलिए इस चीज की इंपॉर्टेंस भी ज्यादा है. What next? Increase customer satisfaction. Again, it has to do with the quality of the product, cost factor, and you know that satisfaction of customer is the key to success. And that is why they say that not only delight the customer, not only come to the expectation of the customer, rather than delight them in the process. And that deletion and that delight things can come due to the efficiency, due to speed, due to innovation, due to better quality, due to better responses, due to better after sales service, or whatever. So you have to think these things. You have to now set up your organization, you have to design your structure, which can keep these things in their mind when they are deciding things. And organization impact can be additional stress on employees to constantly excel. Now, based on this changing environment, it is putting a lot of stress on the employees, a lot of stress on the organizations. Now, you can see around you, everybody is running around like mad, because that is fittest will survive. And for their survival, whatever they are doing today, they have to come up with a better option tomorrow. Why? Because it's changing. तो इससे स्ट्रेस भी हो रही है, आगे एक स्ट्रेस और चेंजेस के चैप्टर में हम इनको डिटेल से पढ़ेंगे. And required constant change in the organization. And managing the change is also going to be very important. See the effect of technologies. So key element will be identifying an organization distinctive competitiveness. What are those distinguished competitiveness any organization can have over the competitor? And then assessing the core processes. How can we again make them more efficient? By reorganizing the processes, by re-engineering it. एक concept बड़ा famous है, business process re-engineering. Here it is, the process re-engineering. What is this process re-engineering? Rethinking, redesigning the processes by which the organization creates value and does work. Riding itself on operations that have become antiquated. Every day we should ask, okay, I am doing this thing. Why I am doing this thing? Whatever process we are following, whatever processes we are using to put our inputs and get our outputs. Even if it is a production unit or service industry, whatever you're doing. If I'm a teacher, I have to ask myself every day a question. Is this the right way I should talk with my student? Is this the example I should be quoting? Because the bottom line will be how well I can explain those things to my student. Whatever processes, whatever concept, whatever philosophy, whatever theories I want to teach to my student. I'll let them learn rather. And this rethinking process, a redesigning process, is known as re-engineering. And if we are talking about the processes of the business, so it will become the business process re-engineering. A lot of talking is there in the market, like IT is there. Let's adopt IT. But we are doing a basic, very important mistake when we are converting our manual things into electronic process. What we are doing? Mostly I have seen that people use this. Of course, we should use this IT computer as a tool to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of our processes. But what is happening in the reality? What people do basically, they just transform all those processes, the paperwork and file work, into electronic form. And they think that they have achieved something. But reality, it is not like that. They might be getting something like 25, 30 or maximum 40% efficiency. So you're underutilizing this technology. You're underutilizing these resources. Because you have to ask yourself, you ask your team. They should rethink, why do we need to send this information to that place? Is it required? So you have to go in pieces, small pieces, and see your work. And rethink, is it requirement? It is essential that we should follow this path to reach where we want to reach. And that is the business process re-engineering. And if you follow the business process re-engineering before you should transform your manual things into electronic things, you can get the maximum benefit out of it. And the results will be amazing. But unfortunately, what is happening, as I said? Because it is a buzzword now. Everybody just transforming, let's see, the accounting system, they just transform into computerized system. And they are happy that, yes, we have developed the financial management system. Fine. Whatever manual they were doing, as far as the personnel management is concerned, human resource management is concerned, most of the people have transformed them into electronic form. And if they have done without processing, business process re-engineering, they're getting only a small piece of the benefit as compared to if they should have done the business process re-engineering, they should have achieved maximum benefit out of it. जब टेक्नोलॉजी की बात करते हैं तो ये प्रोसेस री इंजीनियरिंग की बात को भी ध्यान में रखना चाहिए. जब प्रोसेस री इंजीनियरिंग की बात करते हैं तो री थिंकिंग की बात करते हैं, री डिजाइनिंग की बात करते हैं किसी चीज को, तो इसको बिजनेस प्रोसेस री इंजीनियरिंग को भी जहन में रखना चाहिए कि उन सारे बिजनेस प्रोसेसेस जो हैं उनको रीथिंक करना है, उनको रीडिजाइन करना है. यू हैव टू मेक देम सिंपल बिकॉज रिमेंबर व्हाट इज द कैच? इट्स द सिंप्लीफिकेशन. इट इज द क्या है? स्पीड. It is how much you are making it flexible, but not at the cost of those negative aspects. उसकी तरफ नहीं जाना है. ठीक है. इसी हवाले से कुछ कंसेप्ट थे, मैंने कहा आपके साथ शेयर करूं कि डाउन साइजिंग एंड राइट साइजिंग का कंसेप्ट आपने पढ़ा होगा. हमारे यहां भी इसको गोल्डन शेक हैंड का नाम भी दिया गया. Downsizing or right sizing involve reducing the size of the organization by selling off or closing down units or product lines to increase the profitability. Probably will call for a change in the structure. जहां 10 लोग काम कर रहे थे, नई टेक्नोलॉजी आने से वो एक बंदे का काम हो गया. Now it doesn't mean that new technology is putting your human resource into jobless thing. No. Rather, this new technology is creating something new for them. Now it depends on now them how smart they are, that they should quickly learn something new and be part of this changing environment. इसीलिए रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग और डाउन साइजिंग और राइट साइजिंग और गोल्डन शेक हैंड के जो कॉन्सेप्ट थे हमारे यहाँ कुछ इतने ज्यादा सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुए. द मर्जर, द एक्विजिशन, ये बड़ी बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आगे इकट्ठी हो नेटवर्क बना रही हैं. क्यों बना? ताकि रिसोर्सेज को शेयर कर सकें, ताकि वो रिटर्नेंट काम जो है उनको कम करके एक दूसरे के रिसोर्सेज से फायदा उठा के वो कंपेटिटिव एडवांटेज क्रिएट कर सकें. अगेन दिस इज ए रीथिंकिंग, रीइंजीनियरिंग, राइट. और इसी दौरान एक कंसेप्ट आता है जिसको हम लर्निंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस कहते हैं. और प्रोएक्टिवली लर्निंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन प्रोएक्टिवली क्रिएट्स, एक्वायर्स एंड ट्रांसफर्स नॉलेज थ्रू आउट द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. नाउ दोज ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस व्हिच आर स्मार्ट इनफ, दे ऑलवेज लर्न व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. नई टेक्नोलॉजी, नए तौर तरीके सीखते हैं, सिखाते हैं अपने सबको, ताकि वो चेंजिंग एनवायरनमेंट के तहत अपने आप को एडजस्ट कर सके. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट ई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कंसेप्ट. व्हाट इज ई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन? इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, जहां पे मैक्सिमम काम इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली होते हैं. पेपरलेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का कंसेप्ट है, आपने पढ़ा होगा कि यू आर हैविंग मिनिमम पेपर वर्क इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नाउ. द मोस्ट ऑफ थिंग्स आर डन थ्रू electronically through computer. A profit or non-profit organization that uses the internet and private network links to facilitate activities and communications, we call it an e-organization. और आजकल e-government का concept भी आ गया है कि जितने गवर्नमेंट लेवल के प्रोसेसेस हैं, एक्टिविटीज हैं, इसको इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली किया जाए. इसी बेस पे ई-बिजनेस और उसका सेलिंग पार्ट करते हैं तो ई-कॉमर्स का कंसेप्ट भी आपको मालूम होगा. ये मैंने जब मार्केटिंग का कोर्स पढ़ाया था, अगर आपने उसमें मेरे साथ थे तो ये स्लाइड मैंने वहां भी आपको दिखाई थी. सी हाउ इट इज वर्किंग. यू हैव द मैन्युफैक्चर रिटेलर, द ई बिजनेस, ई कॉमर्स का कॉन्सेप्ट जो है. यू हैव द फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन एंड ए कस्टमर सिटिंग ऑन कंप्यूटर. फिजिकली ही or she don't have to go to the retailing side or to the financial institution to do all those transactions or activities. इसमें हमने B2C, B2B कंसेप्ट पढ़ा था, या आपने सुना भी होगा. बिजनेस टू कस्टमर और कंज्यूमर, बिजनेस टू बिजनेस. इस तरह की जो ट्रांजैक्शन होती हैं, जो इंफॉर्मेशन फ्लो होता है थ्रू द यूज ऑफ दिस न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी, एंड इट इज हैपनिंग इन द बिजनेसेस. जस्ट गिविंग यू द फीलिंग्स. And in virtual community, what is happening now? Types of virtual communications, bulletin boards, chat rooms, newsletters, discussion lists. आप कंप्यूटर के ऊपर बैठे हुए सारी डिस्कशन करके सारे फैसले हो जाते हैं. Information flow is very easy. Now you don't have to wait for the postman. Now you don't have to wait that it will take. वो कबूतर के जरिए जैसे खत आते थे पहले. Now this new technology is helping you. Right now, sitting here, you can just type. On the other end of the globe, another person might be sleeping at this time. The first thing he will get up and see the mail and will respond to you. Let's talk about selected applications for individual behaviors. Due to this new technology, due to this e-government, due to this e-organization concept. The motivation. ये चीज अच्छी है, मोटिवेट करी लोगों को, नई टेक्नोलॉजी. लेकिन इसके कुछ चीजें नुकसानात भी हैं. वो क्या है? साइबर लोफिंग एक कॉन्सेप्ट है कि using the organization internet access for personal and non-job related surfing. You're doing your own thing, surf, chatting कर रहे हो, जैसे घूम फिर रहे हो, देख रहे हो, गाने सुन रहे हो, और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में होता है, वीडियो गेम्स खेल रहे हो, इंटरेक्टिव गेम्स खेल रहे हो. तो ये मोटिव्स भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को नाउ अगेन दे हैव टू रीथिंक अबाउट दीज थिंग्स. इट इज नॉट एंड. नाउ नेक्स्ट स्टेप विल स्टार्ट. हाउ टू मेक इट मोर एफिशिएंट. द न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी इज देयर नाउ, बट यू डोंट वांट दैट द पीपल for whom you are paying for that time, they're using that time for their own personal things. Similarly, ethical concern, especially privacy concern. आपने अपने टेक्स्ट में देखा होगा कि मुख्तलिफ इंस्टीट्यूशन के अंदर बहुत से लोगों को फायर किया जाता है कि उनकी मेल्स को ट्रैक करके उनकी जो साइट जो विजिट करते हैं उस बेस पे भी उनको निकाल दिया जाता है. नाउ इट इज अगेन बिकमिंग ऑन बोथ एंड, एम्प्लॉयर बोथ एंड पे इज अ कंसर्न. डिसीजन मेकिंग सिमिलरली, individual decision making models will become increasingly obsolete now. It is going to be team based, and group decision making models will have greater relevance in any organization. The way people used to do the decision now, it is changing. रूटीन से हट के, और जैसे मैंने आपसे कहा कि चैट पे बैठ के, नेट पे बैठ के मेल फॉरवर्ड की, मेल रिसीव की एंड डिसाइडेड. यस, कम्युनिकेशन के टूल्स चेंज हो गए. हायरार्की लेवल जो थी पहले, that is not very important now anymore. The virtual, look at virtual things. It's not required that you should be talking face to face. People are working together for years and years, but they have never seen each other. They know each other very well through just communication, chatting, mailing system. एक दूसरे के कुछ कई behaviors को भी समझने लगे हैं, but never have chance to see each other. Similarly, political networking. वो जो पॉलिटिक्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में होती थी, इंप्रेशन मैनेजमेंट होता था, उसकी भी शक्लें चेंज हो रही हैं, बिहेवियर एस्पेक्ट चेंज हो रहे हैं. अब नेटवर्क कंप्यूटर पे बैठ के बनते हैं, बजाय कि आप चाय पानी करते हैं, पार्टीज करते हैं. इट इज नॉट वर्किंग दैट वे. सिमिलरली, नाउ यू हैव टू आल्सो, व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, यू हैव टू आल्सो वर्क ऑन द वर्क स्पेस डिजाइनिंग, साइज, अरेंजमेंट, प्राइवेसी. ये सारी चीजें इस पे आपने भी डिस्कस करना है. And because of time constraint, what I'll do, I'll just touch those things, and during our next lecture, I'll give you the explanation of these things. ठीक है ना? वर्कस्पेस डिजाइन है, इसी तरह फेंग शुई है. इसको मैं अगर गलत प्रोनाउंस करूं तो चाइनीज में एक दोस्त ने कहा है कि ऐसे बोलते हैं. वर्क स्पेस डिजाइन एंड प्रोडक्टिविटी है. एंड व्हाट आर द ऑप्शंस व्हेन वी टॉकिंग अबाउट वर्क रीडिजाइन ऑप्शंस? देयर आर जॉब रोटेशंस, you have the job enlargement, you have the job enrichment. So see, due to different changing technology, things are changing. वही जैसे मैंने आपसे कहा कि जो पहले 10 लोग काम करते थे, अब एक पर्सन काम कर रहा है, तो what is going to happen to those remaining 9 people? Unless organization is smart enough, they should give them the training, relocate them, send to do other positions. That is known as job rotation. और इसीलिए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आप जॉब रोटेट भी करती रहती हैं. एक तो अपने फायदे के लिए, लेट्स सी किसी वक्त एक पर्सन नहीं आता उस पर्टिकुलर जॉब के लिए, तो दूसरा ट्रेन भी हो, वो परफॉर्म कर सके, प्लस उसकी ट्रेनिंग भी हो रही होती है कि इन केस टुमारो दिस टेक्नोलॉजी इज नॉट देयर, एटलीस्ट दिस पर्सन इज यूजफुल फॉर सम अदर थिंग्स एंड साइमल्टेनियसली अदर थिंग्स. अगेन एज आई सेड, आई हैव टू कम बैक एंड डिस्कस दीज थिंग्स, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स अगेन विद यू. वर्क scheduling options, again this is also changing due to this technology part. The flex time concept is there. The job sharing concept is there. The telecommuting is there. You don't have to sit in the office. You can sit at your home and do the work and just transfer the files. Flex time. Not necessarily that everybody should come at 8 a.m. They have stretched their timings. Now most of the organizations, they open at 9 and close at 9. They open at 8 and close at 9, midnight, even midnight. So now they have decided about a core time area that everybody should be here in this time, let's see, from 11 to whatever, 4 or whatever they have decided. It changed from organization to organization. But for other timing, people can have the flex time. They can come late morning time, they can go late. They can come early morning and simultaneously they can go earlier back home. And same with the job sharing things, where You don't have to complete your 8 hours. You can spend 4 hours, and the other person can do this for remaining 4-hour work. Still, both will be getting the benefit. But of course, whatever share you have contributed, you'll get the same return. The same example of flex time scheduling. Let's stop it here because, as I said, the time constraint, I was so much involved in the beginning. So what I'll do basically, the last couple of slides, I'm going to bring it back in next lecture, lecture number 33, and discuss with you those things. Let's quickly summarize again. We have discussed about the environment in detail, the uncertainty of the complexity of the environment, and how this is affecting your organization design. So those things, especially the 4 important aspects of the environment, the macro forces, the technology, the political and legal, the economic and socio-culture. Then we discussed the work design and technology, how it is affecting you, how it is relating. And technology at the workplace, we said, whatever is good today, it might not be good tomorrow, because continuous improvement is there. And that is why we should be very much focused, because our customer satisfaction is important thing, the key. And what customer want, better quality with less price. और उसके लिए फिर हमने business process और process re-engineering की बात की. You have to rethink. You have to redesign the processes. Again, to make them more efficient, especially with the changing environment. And then you will be having your competitive advantage in the market. And we have discussed a little bit about e-organization, and that is not discussed, so we'll discuss it next time. So what I'm going to discuss next time is, I'll continue with this remaining few slides, which I wasn't able to complete it today. And then we'll be starting another interesting aspect, the human resource policies and practices. And now we'll look all those things in a different prospect now. We'll see how this behavior prospect, the individual behavior, the organization behavior, the group behavior, and how we should frame the policies and practices, keeping in view those behavior aspect, important aspect. Or how should we implement those policies and practices or procedures, looking at those behavior aspect, the motivation factors, the conflict part, the decision-making part, the new technology aspect, how to make those things workable. So that should be our next lecture. So that's it for today. I hope you have understood the basic concept. Regrets for this last few slides quickly going through those things. But as I said, yes, we are going to discuss them again. Take care of yourself. Work hard. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.